Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So as always, do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here talking once again about a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. We now have one of the industry's most credible insiders confirming that it is in fact real and it's coming. So this is coming from PlayStation Lifestyle, where they say rumors of a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster have been swirling these last few weeks, and insider Jason Schreier has now added more fuel to the fire. In response to a fan asking about the game on Twitter, he simply writes that it is coming. Short and sweet, this is just one of several hints that Square Enix could be announcing a remaster or remake for the classic very soon. So yeah, this is something that we have been covering for a little bit because, you know, different things have been popping up, kind of pointing in the direction of this Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. I think the big question that people have is, you know, is it going to be a remaster or like a full-blown remake? Obviously, we don't know that yet, but there you go. I mean, this is about as good as it gets when it comes to, you know, credible insiders letting us know about some things to expect. Moving on from that, we're talking about PlayStation VR2. First of all, the reviews for PlayStation VR2 are out, and it seems that the general consensus is this is certainly a next-gen leap forward when it comes to PlayStation VR, but also how Sony really is at the cutting edge of what is possible when it comes to VR on console. Basically, there are very minimal negatives or cons with all the reviews that I've seen, and the only ones that I have seen are, you know, maybe some pointing out that the launch lineup when it comes to big must-have AAA exclusives maybe isn't as good as they would want it to be. Obviously, games like Horizon Call of the Mountain and Gran Turismo 7 are very good, but that seems to be really the only thing that people are saying when it comes to negatives. Everything else has been universally positive. People love this headset. And when it comes to the reviews of Horizon Call of the Mountain, they're saying that this is like the standout game right now. Apparently, it's a little light on combat, but a lot of people are basically saying that, you know, for it being a VR game, that's to be expected, but that the overall experience is very good, and it certainly feels like another, you know, kind of standalone Horizon game. So I just kind of wanted to acknowledge that, you know, we are in kind of full swing now when it comes to the PlayStation VR2 hype and just, you know, it releasing in a couple of days. And continuing with that good news, PSVR2 orders are now beginning to ship in the US, and this obviously has people very, very excited. People have been posting on Twitter that they're getting emails from PlayStation Direct that, you know, their headsets are shipping out and they should arrive on February 22nd. Now, there is obviously always the chance that maybe somebody might get it a day or two early. And, you know, there might unfortunately be those who maybe get it a day later. Hopefully that doesn't happen, though. But, yeah, you can kind of see that the hype is real when it comes to PSVR 2. Something else I wanted to mention, though, when it comes to PSVR 2 is what happens when you plug this VR headset into a PC. And this is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. They say when you plug the PSVR 2 into a PC, the PC treats it as an additional monitor with a resolution of 1080p. Users can wear the headset and view content from the PC. The Verge discovered that the video signal sent through the PSVR 2's USB-C cable is unencrypted. However, without any driver support, it's not possible to use the Sony headset with Steam VR. It's just a fancy second screen. So yeah, I figured I would let you guys know that, you know, for anybody who might want to use this as a second screen for their PC. And they also say that the PSVR 2's controllers can also be connected to PC via USB, and they show up as a HID compliant game controllers, which bodes well for future mods. So there you go. Pretty interesting stuff there. I'll be curious. Let me know in the comments below, you know, are you somebody who is getting VR day and date at launch? How are you feeling about it? What games are you planning on playing first? Let me know. Moving on from that, we have an interesting report here that says Sony and Microsoft may have met, what you would assume to be secretly, to discuss Call of Duty and the Activision deal. This is being reported on once again by PS Lifestyle. They say Sony and Microsoft potentially held a meeting to discuss the Call of Duty license amid the ongoing Activision Blizzard deal. Eagle-eyed Twitter users have tracked Sony's private jet using publicly available data, noticing that it had made a trip from London to Seattle, the location of Microsoft's headquarters. The private jet data reveals the trip made by Sony, adding further credibility to the claims that the two companies have met. Alternatively, Bungie's studio is also located near Seattle, though there has already been speculation that Sony and Microsoft have met to discuss the terms of the latter's deal with Activision Blizzard. According to Substack business publication Super Juiced Playlist, Sony previously met with Microsoft for the first time in 18 months in an effort to come to a resolution over the Call of Duty license, and that their publicly cold relationship appears to be thawing. So, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that people are definitely, taking things very far here by tracking Sony's private jet. It's actually pretty comical, but that may in fact be exactly what's going on behind the scenes. And, on top of that, we have the Substack business publication Super Juiced Playlist saying that for the first time in 18 months, they actually did make an effort to come to a resolution. This is very interesting. I have to imagine that if this is true, something significant may come of it. And I'm going to be really interested to know what exactly it is, because, this is a very drastic change from what we've been discussing, where it's just Sony is 100%, not budging, not going to do anything, not going to say anything. They're just going to reject everything that Microsoft says. Going from that to potentially hearing that they're meeting behind the scenes, this could play out in a very interesting way. So I definitely wanted to make you guys aware of this. And, hopefully we'll hear more about this soon. But something else that we do need to point out when it comes to this whole acquisition is that we now have 3 third-party companies basically siding with Sony, saying that this deal would ultimately have a negative impact on the industry. It says here, as part of its investigation into the Microsoft Activision deal, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, asked 6 third-party companies who would be affected by the merger about the potential impact of the acquisition. 3 of the 6 stated the merger would, quote, have a negative impact on competition, end quote, giving Microsoft the ability to foreclose rival gaming platforms, which would largely mean PlayStation. Now, this is pretty significant because up until this point, the general belief is that Sony is literally the only company opposing this deal, but now we know that that's not the case. Out of the 6 companies that were asked about this, half of them are saying, yeah, this would have a negative impact on competition. So yeah, just figured I would let you guys know, this is just more stuff to kind of pile on to everything we've been talking about, and I'll continue to keep you guys updated with that. Moving on from that, though, we have another update on Hogwarts Legacy and how it's performing in Japan on the PS5. This is being reported by Push Square. They say the PS5 continues to outsell the competition by some distance in its native Japan, with hardware numbers pushing past an impressive 93,000 last week. There's been some debate over why the PS5 is doing so well, despite the fact that software sales seem so dead. But that's not really the point of contention this time around, as Hogwarts Legacy topped the physical games charts on the PS5. The recently released open-world adventure sold a very respectable 67,000 copies, which is a solid opening in Japan these days, and if you can believe it, Hogwarts Legacy isn't the only PlayStation game to feature in the top 10. Indeed, Gran Turismo 7 actually saw a small resurgence up the charts, clocking in with an additional 5,000 in sales. In any case, Sony is finally seeing a decent degree of success in Japan, where, as we all know, the Nintendo Switch has reigned supreme for so long. It'll be interesting to see whether the PS5 maintains its momentum in the coming weeks and months, especially with important games like Final Fantasy XVI on the horizon. So, just wanted to give you guys this update when it comes to how the PS5 and Hogwarts Legacy is doing in Japan. It seems to be, certainly helping move PS5 units there, and we know that the PS5 has struggled in Japan for a long time now, and it's really good to kind of see it just completely turn around, and it's a turnaround we've been seeing in pretty much all regions. I mean, the PS5 has been doing better in other regions compared to Japan, even during the shortage, but in general, the whole thing just seems to be turning around, so very good news there. But moving on to the final topic of the video, we're talking about Horizon Forbidden West. We have Guerrilla Games celebrating the 1-year anniversary. The games director took to the PlayStation blog to talk about everything that happened with the Horizon franchise over the past year. Also, saying how it's crazy to think it's already been a year. And, they're just basically expressing their gratitude towards the community by doing a couple of things. The first thing is showing off some interesting statistics for the game, but also letting us know that starting tomorrow, they're releasing some new Horizon Forbidden West 1-year anniversary avatars that will be available to download on the PlayStation Store. So again, that's going to be tomorrow. And, basically just getting people hyped up for the upcoming Burning Shores expansion coming to PS5 on April 19th. So yeah, Guerrilla has been a very busy, obviously hard-working team. And it is actually crazy to think it's already been a year since Horizon released. And, looking back on it, I still feel like Horizon Forbidden West is possibly the best looking game I've played on my PS5 so far. I mean, I don't know that anything will ever beat the launch day of the PS5 when I, turned on Demon's Souls Remake for the first time, and I just, I've never seen graphics like that in my life. But just the sheer scale and scope of Forbidden West and, the beauty of it, I mean, it really is, like, incredible. And I can't wait to see it pushed even further, hopefully, with the expansion coming out since it's PS5 only. But yeah, there you go. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that it's already been a year since Horizon Forbidden West has released, and Guerrilla's celebrating in a pretty significant way. So let me know your thoughts on that. And be sure to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon. And feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.